In the heart of West Africa, in one of the poorest countries on earth, a young military captain rose to power with a dream so dangerous that powerful people feared him. He rejected luxury. He hated corruption. He rode bicycles with ordinary citizens. He reduced his own salary. He challenged foreign powers openly. To millions of Africans, he became a symbol of hope. But to his enemies, he became a threat that had to be eliminated. This is the true story of Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary president of Burkina Faso who tried to rebuild Africa and paid with his life. Thomas Sankara was born on December 21, 1949, in Yako, a town in what was then called Upper Volta, a French colony. At the time, Africa was still under colonial control. European powers controlled politics and resources. Many Africans lived in poverty, while foreign nations grew rich from African wealth. Sankara came from a modest family. As a child, he was intelligent, disciplined, and deeply curious about injustice. He studied in military schools and quickly became known for leadership, courage, intelligence, strong speaking ability. Unlike many military officers, Sankara was heavily influenced by revolutionary ideas. He admired African independence movements, anti-colonial leaders, socialist thinkers, African unity movements. He believed Africa would never truly develop if it depended completely on foreign powers. During the 1970s and early 1980s, many African nations had gained independence. But independence did not end suffering. Across Africa, corruption was widespread. Leaders lived lavish lifestyles. Foreign companies controlled resources. Debt crippled economies. Ordinary citizens remained poor. Upper Volta was one of the poorest countries in the world. Many people lacked clean water, healthcare, education, food security. Meanwhile, politicians lived comfortably. Sankara hated this system. He believed African leaders were behaving like new colonial masters. In 1983, political tensions exploded inside Upper Volta's government. Sankara had become popular among young people, soldiers, workers, poor citizens. His speeches were fiery and fearless. He criticized corruption, imperialism, Western influence in Africa, greedy African elites. Because of his growing popularity, he was arrested. But the arrest backfired. Thousands protested, demanding his release. Soon after, a coup led by his ally Blaise Compaoré brought Sankara to power at just 33 years old. The young captain became president, and immediately everything changed. One of the first things Sankara did was rename the country. Upper Volta was a colonial name given by France. He changed it to Burkina Faso, meaning land of upright people. It was more than symbolism. He wanted Africans to reclaim pride, identity, and dignity. The revolution begins. Sankara launched one of the most radical reform programs Africa had ever seen. And he moved fast. Sankara believed leaders should not live better than the people. So he sold government luxury cars, reduced official salaries, cut his own salary, refused to use air conditioning, sometimes rode bicycles instead of official convoys. He even banned government officials from flying first class. Many elites hated him for this. Corruption had become normal in many African governments. Sankara declared war on it. Officials accused of corruption were publicly exposed. Government spending was reduced. He told citizens, "You cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain amount of madness." To supporters, he was courageous. To enemies, he was dangerous. At a time when many African leaders rarely spoke about women's rights, Sankara openly challenged sexism. He appointed women into government, encouraged girls' education, banned forced marriages, opposed female genital mutilation, encouraged women to work and lead. He once said, "The revolution and women's liberation go together." This made him decades ahead of his time. One of Sankara's biggest achievements was healthcare. His government launched massive vaccination campaigns against measles, meningitis, yellow fever. Millions of children were vaccinated in a short period. International organizations praised the effort. He also expanded rural healthcare access. Sankara wanted Burkina Faso to feed itself. He encouraged local farming, land redistribution, agricultural reform. Under his leadership, wheat production increased, food production improved, dependence on foreign aid reduced. He believed aid could become another form of control. Large parts of the Sahel region faced desertification. Sankara launched tree planting campaigns to stop the desert from spreading. Millions of trees were planted. Environmental protection became part of national policy long before climate discussions became global. Sankara became famous internationally for his fearless speeches. He openly criticized colonialism, foreign debt systems, Western exploitation of Africa. At a famous African summit, he warned African nations about debt. Debt is a cleverly managed reconquest of Africa. He argued that African countries were trapped economically even after political independence. Many ordinary Africans admired him, but powerful governments and elites became increasingly uncomfortable. Sankara's policies created enemies everywhere. Some military officers disliked losing privileges. Rich elites hated his anti-corruption campaigns. Foreign powers worried about his influence spreading across Africa. Even some neighboring governments feared revolutionary ideas entering their countries. Inside his own government, tensions grew, and one man stood at the center of it all: Blaise Compaoré, his longtime friend. On October 15, 1987, Sankara attended a government meeting in the capital city, Ouagadougou. Suddenly, armed men stormed the building. Gunfire erupted. Thomas Sankara was killed alongside several of his supporters. He was only 37 years old. The coup was led by Blaise Compaoré, the same ally who helped bring him to power years earlier. After the assassination, Sankara's body was buried secretly. Many reforms were reversed, fear spread across the country. For years, discussion about Sankara became dangerous. Historians still debate the full story, but many believe several factors played a role: internal political betrayal, fear among elites, international pressure, Cold War politics. His anti-imperialist stance. Some believe foreign intelligence networks may have supported forces against him, though debates continue. What is certain is this: Sankara threatened powerful interests. Although he ruled for only 4 years, Thomas Sankara became one of Africa's most respected revolutionary figures. Today, many young Africans see him as honest, courageous, visionary, selfless. His speeches continue spreading online decades after his death. Murals of his face appear across Africa. Many people call him Africa's Che Guevara, but others say he was something different entirely, a leader who genuinely tried to serve his people. Thomas Sankara proved something rare in politics. A leader can live simply. A leader can reject greed. A leader can challenge corruption. But his story also reveals a painful truth. Sometimes the people who try to change a broken system become targets of the system itself. And even after death, Thomas Sankara's name never disappeared, because ideas are harder to kill than people. If you enjoy the story and want more stories like this, subscribe to the channel at Africa Folktales, Movies and Storytelling.